What's stopping your AI pilots from scaling across the business? Hi, everyone. Welcome back to AI Strategy to Action series. I'm Patricia Johnson Fung, here again with Siva Gandikota. In our last round, part 4.1, we focused on early adoption challenges, why pilots stall, where trust breaks down, and what keeps AI from moving forward. Today's different because the session really focuses on sustained adoption. What it actually looks like when AI scales across the enterprise. We'll show you systems, guardrails, and people and how they mature together. And we'll use PMO maturity markers as concrete examples of what scaled adoption feels like in practice. And while we'll spotlight those PMOs, and these markers can really apply to other domains too, whether you're in IT, operations, or product development. So let's quickly recap the journey so far. Part one, defining strategy and priorities, supported by maturity assessment. Part two was building an IT PMO strategy using that framework. Part three, we were exploring use cases, customers, program managers, and development teams. Part 4.1, early adoption, why pilots fail. And now part 4.2, scaling AI, sustained adoption across the enterprise. All right, so here's the shift. Scaling isn't about running more pilots. It's about maturing those systems, guardrails, people together so AI can become embedded in daily decision making. We'll walk through each pillar, and at every step, we'll call out PMO maturity markers. These are just examples of signals that can tell you whether adoption is sticking. Now I'm going to hand it over to Siva Gandikota, who's going to start to do a deep dive on each of these pillars.
Thanks, Patricia. The first step in scaling AI is the systems. Strong systems are what gives you a real-time visibility, reduce manual work, and speed up executive decision making. That starts with infrastructure modernization, APIs, integrated data layers, and low latency tools. So AI is embedded directly into the workflows like Jira, Smartsheet, and SAP, not sitting off to the side. Next is the data quality and hygiene. That means removing duplicates, filling the gaps, and standardizing the IDs. Without clean data, AI output simply won't be reliable. Then you need end to end integration, connecting the systems across the enterprise so all the insights flow naturally into the governance cadences instead of living in a standalone tools. And finally, workflow integration, tying intake, prioritization, execution, and reporting together. That's what removes the friction and eliminates the manual reconciliation. The bottom line is AI scales when systems underneath are connected, standardized, and built into make AI seamless, not special. Next are the guardrails, and this is really about trust. Governance and ethic frameworks are what makes AI output usable in real decision making, not just interesting insights. First, you need auditability and ownership. Clear threads that show where the recommendation came from and defined roles for validation and approval. Second is the governance alignment. AI output should fit into the existing review formats and stage gates, not create a parallel process that leaders won't follow. Third is the risk awareness. Sensitive data issues and compliance gaps needs to be flagged early while still allowing the pilots and innovation to move forward. And finally, ethical frameworks. Bias checks, transparency, and fairness are what build confidence in the AI recommendations. Bottom line, AI adoption accelerates when risk, compliance, and ethics are built in from the day one, not bolted on later. Finally, people. Culture and leadership are what determines whether the AI adoption actually sticks. Cultural readiness means teams see AI as a partner that helps do better work, not as a threat to their role. Skills and structures matter just as much. People need the right training along with the champion networks they can learn from and lean on. Leadership modeling is critical. When CIOs and executives use AI dashboards live in the meetings, it sends a clear signal that this is how decisions are made. And clear ownership and accountability keeps templates, prompts, and feedback loops current. So the systems keep improving over time. Bottom line, AI adoption lasts when people trust it, leaders model the behavior, and the organization reinforces the change.
Thank you, Siva, for doing that deep dive for us. Again, scaling AI, it's not about running more pilots or chasing that next proof of concept. It's about maturing the systems, the guardrails, and the people together. So AI becomes part of the way the enterprise actually runs. When the systems are modernized, when guardrails embed trust and compliance, and when people have the skills culture with leadership actually role modeling the embrace of AI, that's when the adoption sticks. And that's when AI stops becoming that experiment and starts becoming kind of a trusted partner in decision making for an organization. Think about your own organization. What are your maturity markers today? Are the dashboards reliable enough to drive that live portfolio review? Are the governance forums confident enough to accept AI outputs? Are leaders actually modeling the usage in a way that signals trust? Because sustained adoption is not about that one time milestone, it's a repeatable framework. The organizations that succeed are the ones that build these markers into every domain, not just the PMO that we were using as an example. So, again, the key takeaway is scaling AI means embedding it into the DNA of the enterprise, the systems, guardrails, and the people, working in sync to deliver the outcomes that they can trust. So, again, thank you for joining us on the first part of this journey with AI. We really appreciate your attention. We're excited to continue the path forward with you.